welcome, YouTube. This is episode 12 of Salt Lake. It's going to be a solo recap. It's on the podcast version as well if you want to listen to the audio and not watch me make these funny faces. But here we go. I'm going to hit record and we're going to get right into it. Okay, you guys, what a huge episode we've had so far. Episode 11, and now we're moving right along to episode 12, season 3. This is called White Lies and Black Eyes, because it's very clever, because Heather has a black eye that we don't know what happened to it, so it doesn't matter at all. Either tell me or shut up about the black eye. The description the cable company gives us is, while the ladies are still in San Diego, a dark cloud looms above as the group tries to get answers about Heather's black eye. Do you like the dark cloud, black eye? I love. It's very literary. Lisa learns that Meredith has been spreading rumors about her businesses. Yeah, we continue the Meredith trying to get back at Lisa Barlow for that hot mic moment that she will never live down. We get the previously on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which we don't need to really get into because we just recapped episode 11. So if you don't know what happened by now, you're never going to happen. Let's just clear. Ladies are fighting. Jen Shaw should be getting attacked more than she is, and she's not. Everybody's fighting. Meredith hates Lisa. Lisa hates Meredith. Lisa kind of likes Whitney. Heather likes Jen, even though she shouldn't. Heather's upset at Whitney. Whitney's upset at Heather. Dana Bananas first season's happening. Angie K got into a fight with Jen because Jen poured a glass of champagne and threw her Louboutins in the ocean, but Angie K doesn't really seem to be holding that against Jen Shaw, and Angie H wasn't even invited, so sorry. Also, when they do the previously on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they made it like the screen flashes like a glitchy horror film of like like it's supposed to be scary. I'm like, you guys don't need to do the editing. This is already scary enough just by what we have to watch on the actual show. You don't need fancy editing. I'm already scared. I'm scared of all of these ladies. For the most part. We don't get any taglines today, but we do get the final shot of Heather going to the room. Night vision camera. Someone tries to open the door. She goes to the door to let them in, and the screen cuts to the title card. San Diego, day 3. It's a beautiful day in San Diego. We see Whitney waking up, and opening the blinds in her room. Meredith and Jen both wake up and walk into the hall. Jen is looking rough. She did not take her makeup off, but the wig is off. Meredith comes out and sees Jen, and they're like, they both burst out laughing. Meredith's like, you look like your makeup shit on. Meredith in a confessional goes, Jen looks about as good as I feel right now. But seriously though, these are ladies. Listen, I'm getting up there in age too. How the fuck are these ladies doing it? Like, they must have been getting like 4 to 5 hours sleep, because I think they're up early filming. Like, I would like, like, this is why I'll never be on a show like this, because it would just be like shots of like a time lapse footage of the bathroom door closed and me being like, ugh, just dry heaving like for hours. Just be a blank door with just dry heaving sounds, and they would keep going like 3:04 p.m. 4:10 p.m. 5. It would be no, like, but all these ladies are like up and ready to go. I just will never understand it. The same thing with Summer House and Vanderpump Rules. Don't get it. Meredith goes, looks like you washed your face. And Jen goes, I didn't. And Meredith in the confessional goes, I mean, I may not be running a marathon this morning, but I did at least get my makeup last night, which is more than I can say for Jen. The screen glitches again. And we flash to outside of Heather's casita. We see a text bubble come on screen. Bloop, 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 bloop. I have a problem. Can you come to my room? Heather goes, bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm serious. And then it says, Jen goes, coming now. Bloop, 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 bloop. Jen comes to Heather's door and knocks. Heather walks to open the door and has on big sunglasses. Already a crime in itself. Heather goes, come in, come in. And Jen goes, girl, I got your text. Now, listen. You can take this scene at face value, but then there's a part of it. There's this weird part of it that I read into things too much, right? It's one of those horrible qualities I was born with. And this kind of comes off very staged, and not just staged like a reality show, but staged and like, girl, I got your text. Like, knock, knock, camera's inside the room, cameraman's inside there. So let's say before we get there, the cameraman's in, Heather's walking around with sunglasses, bloop, 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 bloop. And Jen goes, girl, I got your text. There's something false about it. Heather goes, yeah. And Jen goes, what's wrong? She sees Heather's Marilyn wig on the floor and picks it up. And Heather goes, thank you. Where was that? Oh, right here. Jen puts the wig on and goes, it was on the floor. They both sit down at the table. Jen goes, what's the matter? Heather takes off her sunglasses to reveal she has a giant penis in the middle of her. No, she has a black eye. And it's a really bad looking black eye. It's a really big black eye. And Jen goes, what the fuck, girl? What in the, can I touch it? Now, here's another thing. That's a weird thing. So if I showed you like, oh my God, look, my broken arm, would you go, can I feel it? Can I touch it? Why do you want to touch it? That would be my next. Wait, why? What, can I touch it? Can I touch it? I don't know, man. Like, it looks like it hurts. Why would I let you touch it? Heather goes, yeah. So weird. It's weird. So Jen goes, wait, what happened? Heather goes, I don't know. Jen goes, does it hurt? Heather goes, yes. Jen goes, did you put ice on it yet? We should probably put ice. Why hasn't there been even the cameraman? How dare you? Why didn't you give her some ice? Jen goes and what looks like to me pulls out one ice cube. And Jen goes, you have to wear the sunglasses. And Heather goes, okay, I'm going to keep it iced. The camera flashes to what looks like scratches on Heather's arm and hands. And Jen goes, girl, you have literally, and Heather goes, that's lipstick. Which also is like, wait, why is somebody kissing your arms and hands? I mean, that now I'm like, tell me more. Jen goes, no, they're scratches. Oh, is it lipstick? And Heather goes, well, this is lipstick. And Jen goes, that's not lipstick. What the fuck happened? And Heather goes, I don't want to get anyone in trouble, Jen, but that's why I need you to like help me figure out if someone wants to talk about what really happened last night. We need a cover story is what I'm saying right now. So this is already weird, right? It just feels weird on so many different levels, not even just the weirdness of a black eye, but the weirdness of this behavior. If we're to go by what we see and what we hear, this behavior is very weird. Your friend has a black eye and all of a sudden you go to, we need a cover story. Who wants to talk about it? And wouldn't the question be going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Heather? What do you mean? Who wants to talk about it? What? Tell me, what are you talking about? Wouldn't all these questions be there instead of, Heather, we need a cover story, but which, by the way, Heather, perfect person to go to for a cover story, though, right? Like you couldn't have asked for a better person to ask for a cover story than Jen Shaw. Jen's like, no, I got you, girl. Let's use some third-party encrypted apps. We'll talk and communicate that way. Literally, this is the person you want to go to. But Jen goes, well, like a spider laid eggs in your eyeball, or you might have poison in your eye. And Heather goes, spider poison? Yeah, people die from that. Heather goes, I texted you to come over to help me, not tell me that a spider laid eggs in my eyeball. That's not, I don't think that story's going to fly. And Jen's like, well, I'm like going through options. This is so weird. Heather's now like, those aren't good enough. To spider laid, guys, fucking just, if it really is this big of a deal, like literally you tripped while you're drunk and hit your like on the bedpost. Like what? I don't know why it has to be this big of a production. If Jen Shaw didn't do it, or I mean, I've heard so many wild theories. I heard that Jen kept partying and went on had somebody come over to fuck her and it got rough. Like I heard the weirdest stories that I don't like. Like no. And also, I told you in last week's episode that somebody had said the theory that they already saw the form bruising on the night before. So this happened potentially before she even went to this trip. So who knows? But Jen in the confessional goes, I don't understand how, like, what the fuck happened? Heather has a peanut allergy and ate peanuts and then rubbed her eye. I mean, she swiped right on Tinder, invited someone over and shit got rough. Heather got into a bar fight. Bitch, you went out without me? Jen trying to be funny here, but I just think Jen trying to be funny in a talking head just doesn't sit well anymore. It's like not funny. And it's like, especially after reading all the court documents, which by the way, I did an episode on Monday about, you should go check it out with the Bravo docket. It's just not funny. Like, I'm like, oh, great. Very funny. That's awesome. Funny talking head, Jen. I read the victim impact statements. You've really hurt a lot of people. Heather goes, okay, option one, spider laid eggs on my eyeball. I'm going to say we'll put it on the list. We need a good cover story for this eye because I don't want any of the ladies to get in trouble. Heather, what the fuck are you talking about? Want the ladies to get in trouble? What do you like? Hey, Heather, good news. You're on a TV show with cameras. We should have that footage if something happened, especially because we saw angles from inside your room. Jen goes, what's our cover story? You don't know what happened, basically? You don't know? And Heather goes, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what happened. And Jen goes, right? Heather goes, yeah, I don't know what happened. Let's get Meredith. So now it's almost like they're pulling Meredith into this. So, I mean, the obvious thing is Jen Shaw is aware of what happened. Jen and Heather, I mean, like, listen, they were roughhousing, so that could have been where the scratches came from. I don't know where the eye came from. I mean, a popular theory is that Jen kept going and Jen at some point probably got rough and like popped Heather in the eye. Who knows? So Meredith arrives to the room and Jen's like, hi, Meredith. And Heather's like, hey, girlfriend, please come in. And Meredith's like, what's going on? And Jen's like, please come here. Okay, I need you to sit down first. Sit down. And Meredith goes, okay, you guys are scaring me. What's going on? And Jen goes, well, we are scared. And Meredith goes, what's wrong? Heather takes off her sunglasses and Meredith's shocked. And Heather goes, is it obvious? Which is just, well, I don't know how every girl in this scene has just turned like a fucking idiot all of a sudden. Is it obvious? You looked in the mirror. Are you blind in the other eye? Are you blind in the good eye? What are you talking about? Is it obvious? I mean, what? Well, how all of a sudden did we become idiots? Heather's a smart woman. She knows it looks horrible. She knows it looks obvious. Meredith's like, what the? Heather's like, I don't want to get. And then Meredith goes, when did this happen? We were with you until 4 a.m. We get a flashback to the night vision camera. We see Jen, Meredith, and Angie come into Heather's room at 4:50 a.m. and then leaving later. So they were the ones that were jiggling the handle, which is what they left us with to be continued last week. So it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just Jen. It was a group of them. They all came in, which I don't know. Like they kept going. Heather went to her room and then they came up to the casita. Like, that's so interesting. I'm so curious. What else? I'm curious what they were on, what they were drinking, I mean, all of it. And Meredith goes, how did this happen? And Jen goes, that's what we don't know. She doesn't. I've tried. We're walking through everything. And I'm like, we need to come up. We need to get Meredith. But also Jen and Heather, why do you need to come up with anything? It's your body. I mean, what are you talking about? Why do you need to come up with an excuse? How about your excuse is I fucking drank like a college idiot and I blacked out. Don't know. Guess what? I told you guys how a couple months I had like 10 margaritas after like not drinking for like a week and a half. And I'd worked out that day and I wound up laying down on somebody's lawn at some point. And I must have fell because there was like, I tore a hole in my jean, must have just totally fell onto a lawn. Yeah, really, really horrible stuff. I wasn't like calling my friend and going, we need to come up with an excuse. I knew that I was a fucking idiot and did something idiotic. It was real simple. And then I looked at my knee and go, oh my God, I wonder who did this thing to my knee. I did that thing to my knee when I fell being a drunken idiot, period. But all of this covering up and all this stuff, that's what makes me believe something else is at play here. Because otherwise you just go, do you know how much I trip and hurt myself? Do you know how klutzy I am even without alcohol involved? Like, I'm not very graceful. I think you guys know that. I mean, that's the rumors are true. Sorry, I'm looking at my hand. So they're doing their thing about what's happening, and I just don't know if I care. And Meredith goes, wait a second, you don't know how this happened. And Heather goes, I don't know how this happened. And Jen goes, okay, I'll be right back. Meredith, don't leave her. Meredith goes, I'm not leaving her. She needs a chaperone. Jen leaves. Meredith goes, do you have scratches on your back too? And Heather goes, yes, I do. I mean, did she do a Luann and fall into the bushes and like, you remember Luann on the vacation? Oh, it's so great. Oh God, I didn't know. The back scratches is weird too. Meredith goes, see, I would think maybe you could have fallen and whatever, but the scratches on your arm, how did this happen? And Heather goes, I don't want to talk about it. And Meredith goes, you know it happened. Meredith in confessional goes, oh my God. It seems like she was, physically battered. Ooh. Heather goes, I don't know what happened. I don't recall. By the way, anybody that says I don't recall is like, it's the worst thing to ever say in regards to memory, because you don't recall. Like, I don't recall is shit you say on the witness stand. And Meredith in confessional goes, it's really scary. Back from commercial break, we're in the main house. We see Lisa come to Whitney's room, and Lisa's like, good morning. And Whitney's like, good morning, sunshine. How's it going? Good. Just, getting ready. Getting ready. Yeah. Are you feeling better about everything? And we get a flashback to Whitney and Heather's argument from the night before. And Whitney goes, no. And the other thing I'm really frustrated with is Meredith. And Lisa goes, tell me. Lisa goes, you going to say something about Meredith? I want to know. Whitney goes, do you know she fucked half of New York? No. Whitney goes, you know how I always used to be like, Lisa's the puppet master? And Lisa goes, yeah. Like, I feel like that's what she's doing. She's very smart at it. She knows how to stir something up and then knows that someone else will take it. Whitney is a lot smarter than everybody gives her credit for. We get a flashback to the previous night's dinner when Meredith confronted Whitney about spreading rumors about Lisa and then blaming Meredith. Whitney goes, and where Meredith is being able to say, I didn't say it because she doesn't say it. She alludes and gets you to say it, right? She gets the other person to say it. Whitney in a confessional goes, I think that Meredith is seeking revenge and wants to take Lisa down while also trying to look like someone who is not seeking revenge. Lisa goes, so what was her plan to get all of you to get all of us to start saying things about you? Honestly, this is wow. Lisa in a confessional goes, Meredith holds a grudge. And when Meredith is determined to take you out, there's nothing that's going to stop her. And until I'm in the fetal position wanting to take myself out, she won't be happy. Lisa's like, one mistake and a whole friendship. And it's like, let me try and find a way to ruin you so I can look better and feel better about myself. New scene, Whitney and Lisa are dressed and ready for the day. They're downstairs. Everybody's walking in, everybody going, hey, beautiful, hot stuff. All girls, every scene is, oh, you look pretty. How's your night? Oh, you look so great. Oh my God, dress, oh, so pretty with the colors. And they all hug. Through the window. We see Heather walking away from her casita, and Heather is all done up. She's wearing big glasses. And Dana's like, are you guys ready for today? We're going rollerblading. And I'm like, why? Why don't we just sit around and talk? I would be that person. I don't need physical activity. There's drama here. We have a pool. We love to do scenes in a pool. There's a pool out there. But I guess for the excitement and magic of TV, we need the magic of rollerblading. So Heather in a confessional goes, I'm dreading this. I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to answer their questions. I don't want to be here right now. So Heather comes in, everybody's like, oh, good morning. Oh, good afternoon now. And Heather's like, oh, I thought it was morning. And Jenny goes, I like your outfit. We're all flowy today. More hugs. Jen's like, giddy up, bitches. And she comes in. And Lisa goes, I had a near-death experience last night. Jen came in topless and hugged me. And at first I was suffocated. And then I'm like, you're choking me out. Because those big gazongas, dude, those are big fake gazongas that have to weigh at least the tonnage on that thing. I mean, you really could potentially hurt. Wait, there it is. Maybe Heather got her black eye by Jen putting one of those gazongas on her face and it just automatic black eye. The ladies all laugh. Meredith comes in and Meredith's like, hey guys, what's going on? Angie K walks in, good morning. And Heather's like, I want to see the city a little bit. And Lisa's like, let's go check out San Diego. And Jen goes, wait, at a winery? And then Meredith's like, we're doing the karting. And Dana's like, all of us are? And Heather's like, oh, okay. And then we're like, so they're doing this cart thing and winery. It's two activities, whatever. When he's like, wait, tell me about last night. Because I heard a lot of commotion, but no one came to my room with their titties. And Heather's like, we're not sure what happened last night, but we know things got a little rough. Heather once again being weirdly cryptic, like a Khloe Kardashian Instagram story. Whitney's like, what do you mean? And Heather's like, well, I think we all know what happened. I just think we don't want to talk about it. Very cryptic. Ooh. Once again, if we want to talk about it, then fucking talk about it. Say, Heather, why don't you start us off? Since it's your fucking body, your eye. You have permission to tell us what happened because it's on your person. Just you start the ball rolling. Well, let me say, since this is my black eye, let me lead you in on how this happened. So Lisa goes, wait, what happened? Heather takes her glasses off to reveal her black eye. Oh my God, Whitney says. Lisa goes, what the fuck happened? And Angie K is like, oh my God, what happened? And Lisa's like, what happened? By the way, you guys, everybody see, I've watched this scene now a couple times. They all say what happened. And Lisa's like, what happened? what happened? What? And they're all talking over, so it makes this weird cacophony of what happened? 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 It almost just sounds like syllables. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? And the producer in a confession goes, Heather, how do you think it happened? And Heather goes, well, I mean, what does it look like? What does it look like? I'm just going to shut down and I don't want to talk about it. And it's very bad actor. Talk about bad Mormon, bad actor. This confessional is like, well, I mean, what does it look like? What are you doing, man? You used to be so real. Like, what are you doing? Heather's like, we don't know. And Lisa's like, you're joking. Lisa in the confessional goes, wait, did you get some short-term memory loss with that black eye? Because Heather really doesn't remember a lot of things, according to Heather season 3. We get flashback to 15 seconds ago when Heather said, well, I think we all know what happened. I just think we don't want to talk about it. Man, how dark is that we're doing flashbacks from like literally 30 seconds ago? Bravo is like, wait a sec, we need to do a flashback immediately after the scene just happened. Like, this is some weird, like, it's Inception. It's like time is, it's like going to start a Big Bang Theory at some point. Lisa in a confessional is like you just said 2 different things in 2 seconds. Like, Lisa's right. It's like Lisa and Whitney are 2 of the funnest people to do their voices and to make fun of in terms of like their vocal patterns, but they also are 2 people that actually speak a lot of, like, they're knowledgeable about what they see. Lisa has an ego the size of Texas, but she does point out things like she did say 2 different things in the span of 1 minute. Heather goes, I don't think it's that noticeable. And Lisa goes, Heather, are you insane? You look like somebody like clocked you. And Heather goes, well, maybe somebody did, but they don't want to talk about it. And Whitney's like, did somebody hit you? So Whitney's out. Like, no, somebody said Whitney might have. No, Whitney's didn't hit her. Heather's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to make the trip about my black eye, honestly. Okay, then just tell us, because then it just makes us wonder. Like, just so weird. This is so weird. Whitney in a confession goes, just looking at Heather and listening to her like laugh it off, but yet like allude to that someone hit her is making me feel like physically sick. Like, I feel like I'm going to throw up. And Heather's like, what's the one way I like to deal with things? By not talking about it. Sweep it under the rug, deflect. Heather goes, sweep it under the rug and let's deflect it today with some booze, some humor, and we'll do it the Heather Gay way. And I'm like, oh, should we all crawl up Jen Shah's ass? The Heather Gay way? Is that, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, that's what you do, everything for Jen Shah. So I'm assuming Jen Shah had something to do with this black eye, because if Whitney had done it, you probably would have busted her out immediately. Like, Whitney got crazy on me last night. The ladies all stand up. They're all going. And Whitney's like, I'm just worried about you. In a confessional, she's like, it's not funny, Heather. If someone did this to her in this group, if someone did this to her, like, that's a problem. And Heather goes, work through the pain. We work through the pain. We're women of grit. Women of grit actually fucking tell people what happened. Like, Megan Thee Stallion comes forward and tells her story. You don't fucking like hide it. What women of grit? What kind of backwards 1950s shit is that? My goodness God, I've got a filthy mouth today. New scene, the ladies are exploring all the wonderful things San Diego has to offer us. And they're going on these go-kart rides, which is kind of funny to watch all the ladies in these little go-karts like speeding around San Diego. Angie K in a confessional was like, the group activities have not been going well so far. So I thought a one-on-one on the go-karts could be fun, just getting an experience of the city together and experience San Diego. Whatever, Angie. Like I'm saying, like, I could make this show so much cheaper and better. Like, hey, no, we're not going on go-karts today. If you want to drive somewhere, get your buddy to do it, but we're going to film back at the house today. The ladies all split up in the cars. Heather and Lisa ride together, and Heather in a confessional goes, I picked Lisa Barlow for the go-kart because I'm smart. Lisa's going to be talking about herself. She's not going to even notice if I don't say one goddamn word. Flash forward 20 minutes of the ladies on the go-kart, and Lisa's telling Heather a story. She's like, oh my God, this new dress I brought, Heather. Oh my God. Listen, yeah, Lisa does like to talk about herself. Heather's right. Heather goes, if I were to ride with anyone else, they would be grilling me about this black eye. I'd be trapped in an interrogation interview. I want to go with Lisa. She's not going to even remember that I'm there. Jen gets in the car with Dana. Dana in confessional goes, Jen jumps in my go-kart. And I'm like, oh my God, Jen is very unpredictable and very hard to talk to. It's going to be a very long ride. Also, I just think Jen would like steer right into traffic at points. Meredith and Angie K are together. Whitney's in a car by herself. We see a driving montage and they do like a, hey, the motor speedway. It's like, whatever. Some of the ladies are discussing Heather's black eye and theories about what happened. Meredith says she thinks Heather knows what happened, but doesn't want to talk about it. Lisa and Heather are just talking about Lisa's clothes. Whitney's car gets stuck on the road. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Somebody has to help her out and push her cart. Meredith says she's booked a winery for anybody who wants to go. I hear all the best wineries are in San Diego. Group will go then. So a group's going to go to the winery and then a group will go rollerblading. The commercial break, we come back. Lisa, Whitney, and Dana are rollerblading. I've never rollerbladed in my life. It's just one of those things. I know I would get a black Heather gay eye. It would just, I know I would hurt myself, period. It's like, I can't roller skate. And like, I roller skated when I was a kid. Those were fun. Those roller skating parties, like an all skate and yee, but I have bad knees and I just know that I would hurt. I like, just without a doubt, like I'd hurt myself within first, I would give myself 10 minutes. I'd probably feel great for like a minute. Like I'm free as a bird. And then just, Lisa's like, you guys, I'm nervous. I haven't done this in forever. So they're skating. Other ladies are at Vineyard. They ordered food, wine, and guess what? A charcuterie board. We love a charcuterie board on the Salt Lake City. When we go to San Diego, we love the meats and cheeses. We don't know who gave her the black eye, but we know some salami and cheese will make it right. Charcuterie board in the San Diego. Charcuterie board, and we don't know who hurt Heather's eye. It could be Jen Shaw's tay. Heather goes in a confessional, can we get a normal meal that requires utensils? All this charcuterie boards. We flash back to the ladies rollers blading. They're getting the hang of it. Lisa in a confessional goes, all through the 6th and 7th grade, I was at the roller rink every Friday night. I could do tricks. I could do all these things on roller skates. I'm better on wheels and skis. What can I say? And then we get a flashback to Lisa skiing and falling. Whitney was like, how were your car rides today? And Dana was like, it was fun. And Lisa's like, Heather and I were talking about our kids. And Dana goes, oh, really? Yeah. Whitney goes, did you talk about her black eye? And Lisa goes, no. What do you guys think happened? And Dana's like, I don't know. And I don't want to assume. There's only 2 options. And Lisa's like, someone hit her or she fell. She did it to herself or someone did it to her. Yeah. And Dana goes, yeah. Whitney in a confessional goes, honestly, if someone hit her, I would think it was Jen. We all know how toxic their friendship is. And like at the state of like how intoxicated they were, like what if Heather ticked off Jen and Jen hit her? But why is Heather covering it up? Does she think this is going to be bad for her trial? I don't know. Back to the winery, Meredith is talking with Heather and Meredith's like, I don't know what happened, but whatever happened is not okay, obviously, about your eye. And Heather's like, what? That broke my eye? And Meredith's like, yeah. And Heather's like, and my scratches? And Heather's kind of laughing it off. Like, you know how weird this looks, Heather? Like, Meredith's like, it's really concerning. This is not okay at any level. I don't know what happened, but I know it's not okay. And Heather's like, just respect that I don't want to talk about it right now. We'll talk about it later, and it's nothing you should worry about it. I got it handled. And Meredith's like, we are worried about it, but we will respect your space for the time being on it, as long as we feel that you're safe. But that means you're not sleeping alone. Let's move on. Oh, do you think there's some wild black eye like killer in the house? Like that's just how we're out to get Heather gay when everybody falls asleep. Let's get her other eye. The little Keebler elves of black eyes. Like, are you kidding me? Also, I love this. I respect you don't want to talk about it. Get the hell off. This is the Housewives. You don't keep things to yourself on the Housewives. You talk shit behind other people's back and you tell their secrets. You do not keep things like this. No, literally no. Heather, do not respect that she doesn't want to talk about it. You talk about it anyways. This is not therapy. Let's go. The producer in a confessional goes, so you're not going to tell us what happened. Heather goes, well, I can't. And that's the game of all of this. Like, I'm not going to say it until somebody else says it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to spew my theories until everybody spews theirs. Like, this is just a game of like, Texas Hold'em and nobody is showing their cards. What are you smoking, girl? Wait, what? You're going to spew your theories? This isn't the JFK assassination. What? This isn't a false moon landing. This is just how you hurt your eye, dum-dum. Why are you making this a bigger spew your theories? What is this, QAnon? What are you talking about? It's a black eye. Like, what are we not seeing? And a game of all this. By the way, I feel like the producers should have stopped Heather halfway through that monologue and go, hey, real quick, you're fired. Get out. And I was like, no, I'll tell you, Jen hit me. Jen hit me. Heather goes, when I woke up with it, I called you and Meredith, and I called you. And normally I would call Whitney immediately. But after the dinner last night, when I found out I was on a friendship break, Whitney, because remember last episode, it was like, we're on a friendship break. Whitney and I have been in cahoots from day one. I go to her. I say the petty, dumb things that don't matter, that I would never say out loud because they're unnecessary and immature. Okay. So you're an asshole? Well, I don't, but I love that it's like, oh, so Whitney didn't get the precious call about your black eye. Oh no, Whitney didn't get included on your black eye sojourn. Oh no. And Jen's like, and now she's putting that on you. And Heather goes, so she wants to like all of a sudden clean slate, start fresh with Lisa. Great, do that. Do that. Don't bring don't bring me into it. Don't pull me into everything that we've ever said as friends and then think I'm not going to have a reaction to that because it makes me not trust her. But the truth is, I love her. Really, a lot of switching here. Heather loves Whitney, doesn't like Whitney, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, Heather is upset that Whitney wants to be friends with Lisa. That's it. And Lisa's never liked Heather. But the truth is, I love her and our friendship is so effortless that I just give her, say it with me, folks, grace. You know, she's going through a lot. She's been giving me a lot of information that I'd never had before. You know, Justin losing his job. I mean, this is true. Like Whitney came to her about Justin losing his job, about Whitney's memories of her physical abuse as a child. And Heather's wrapped up in this bullshit of her being like you're friends with Lisa and I don't like it. Jen goes, maybe there's a reason that the two of them are bonding and all of a sudden coming to that together because it all seems weird. Whitney is going through this whole thing with Justin, right? Justin lost his job. And you know what? Lisa has stuff too. Lisa, there's an SEC filing, Jen says. So Jen puts this into the ether, SEC filing. And Meredith goes, I think that's true. I've heard a little something about an SEC filing. Yeah, SEC. And Jen goes, a crowdfunding where Lisa, the richest bitch out of all of us, but she's trying to crowdfund for $25,000. So now all of a sudden we get more information out of nowhere. What? And Meredith goes, the whole thing is very strange to me because I don't understand why you reach out for 25 grand on crowdfunding. And in it, they have to disclose, everything. They have to disclose their debts and they do have a loan from, way below market value. The SEC filings, side note, are regulatory documents that companies and issuers of securities must submit to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, on a regular basis. The purpose is to provide transparency and information to investors, analysts, and regulators. Regulation crowdfunding enables eligible companies to offer and sell securities through crowdfunding. So it raises money to help the company. And then, you put all your stats out there because you are taking money from the public or the people you're crowdfunding from. By the way, these notes are done by Laura Beth Harp. Laura is amazing. She put that little SEC filing side note in there, which is very helpful to me. I'm a proud crowdfunder of Fresh Wolf. No, but I would, sure. But now all of a sudden we're getting this news. Like we can't keep on in the main thing, Heather's eye, like let's focus on the eye. And we're like all of a sudden on SEC filings. But it's just weird because it's such an obvious thing about Meredith trying to get back at Lisa Barlow for the hot mic moment. It just never stops. But Meredith knew about this and Jen brought it up. So I almost think there was this cahoots where Jen, will you just say something in the scene today about the SEC thing and I'll agree with you. These things are not done delicately. I feel like it's an elephant just trudging through the room with this information where it's not natural. It's like there's an agenda here. So Dana, we're back to the roller skating rink, and Dana's like, we went over to Meredith's home, me, Angie H, and Heather, and we were talking to Meredith, like she got some information from somebody about your business. She's telling this to Lisa. She's been sharing with us about like how Vita was crowdfunding or something about an SEC. So isn't it weird on the same day everybody's talking about the SEC? It's almost like producers are like, today's SEC day, you guys. We get a flashback to 2 weeks earlier at Meredith's house, and Meredith's like, and by the way, there's a whole SEC filing that is floating around that was sent to me. It's a document. It's a public document that also shows that they're not making any money and everything else that she's saying about everybody else. And Lisa goes, why the fuck is she talking about my business with you? Lisa in a confessional goes, this is bullshit. Meredith is intentionally trying to hurt me. And Dana's like, why do you think she has this information? Why does she have the information? Because she's digging it up and she wants dirt on me. She doesn't have any information. And Dana's like, she said it was like public record. Listen, you know what? SEC filings are public record, but it's not on Vita. It's on a brand we own that has one outlet that we sell nationwide. Lisa in a confessional goes, I know what's happening here. Meredith is upset that I had the hot mic moment and she's retaliating. She's trying to disparage my name, my businesses, my marriage, and my family. Sorry, my company isn't failing. It's actually thriving. Lisa also goes, I have my POs on my phone. I can post them on Instagram. She's going to have to sell a lot of jewelry to make one of my POs. Meredith said her family's off limits. Businesses are off limits. Children are off limits. Well, guess what? You just came for all my fucking stuff. So maybe nothing's off limits anymore. Whitney's like, this is how Meredith works. Is she? And then it's like, do you think she's trying to make Lisa look bad? Oh, absolutely. Dana's like, because she's sharing with me, sharing with Angie, sharing with Heather. So what? Guess what? She told me I had mental health issues. Oh my God. No, I don't pop pills, bitch. You do. That's iconic. That's a shirt right there. I don't pop pills, bitch. You do. I don't pop pills, bitch. You do. It's Lisa Barlow up in this mug. Commercial break. Come back. The ladies are on the van riding home from the winery. Angie K goes, so just so I understand a little bit more about the SEC filing, it feels like somebody's wearing a wire. I still don't even understand what the hell crowdfunding thing is. That's why I'm asking. And Heather goes, so an SEC filing is like a public record of the government with any time you exchange money or get investment money. And Meredith goes, yes, it's the Security and Exchange Commission, and they monitor like all public trading. So when you're doing crowdfunding, people need to know what they're putting money into. Heather goes, and who generally does crowdfunding and an SEC filing? And Jen goes, crowdfunding is normally for new companies. By the way, this is what fucking cracks me up. You want to talk about numbers in business? You got Jen Shaw, pursued by the Southern District of New York. And this is who we should be asking specific questions on financial, money, dollars, filings, lies, all of this stuff. Yet we're focused on Vita tequila and some like shitty Lisa Barlow throwaway products that don't make money. Who the fuck cares? We've got the golden goose in this van right now. Let's talk to her about all of her shit. Like, this is what boggles my mind. And they're letting Jen participate in this discussion. Like, Jen's like, well, let me tell you what it is. Heather's like, so it's a small company that doesn't have enough money to go to the next level unless other people invest. And as soon as other people invest, you have to make a public record and an SEC filing. And Meredith goes, it's a pain in the ass is the bottom line. I can't imagine wanting to crowdfund for any reason at this stage in my life unless I had no other choice. I like that the subtext behind that is like, unless I was so poor and stupid. Angie K goes, so are you close enough with Lisa to inquire why she would? And Meredith goes, I don't care. And Heather goes, I just felt like Vita Tequila had been around for decades. They were a big player in the game, you know? And Meredith goes, that's her business. And when he goes, we're at the, when he goes, she says she's the richest friend that we all have. And Meredith's like, that's the only reason why. Heather goes, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't ask 100 people for 25,000 if I'm the richest girl in the group. So now they've all now gone over to trying to get Lisa. Meredith goes, I was sent like a random DM with this SEC filing. A random DM. Jen, looking at her phone, goes, here it is. Jack Henry Spirits, California crowdfunding, $25,000 to $107,000 in crowd notes. Angie K in a confessional goes, I'm so uncomfortable with Lisa not being here and then talking about her business like she's doing something shady. We're back in the scene. Angie K goes, that says negative. And Meredith goes, yeah. Heather goes, they made no money. They made negative $16,000. Angie K in a confessional goes, there is no way that Lisa is broke. She would not be wearing the brands that she's wearing, driving the car that she's driving, and living the home that she's living in today. She wouldn't be able to eat that much fast food. And if that's what being broke looks like, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it too. Meredith goes, I don't count on anyone else's money. But you want to sit there and say I'm the richest bitch and you can't afford a home and your husband can't keep a job? Fuck you. See, Meredith still just automatically is mad. She's mad, just bubbling still. The anger is just so present. The van arrives back at the house and the ladies begin to get ready for a Greek goddess dinner hosted by Angie K. Why not, right? Why? We do the luau one night, Greek goddess. Let's just throw everything at the wall. We see all the ladies getting dressed and see Heather putting on a bedazzled eye patch because of her black eye. At this point, she just wear them on both eyes. Angie goes to Lisa's room and knocks, and Lisa goes, come in. And Angie goes, hey. And Lisa goes, hey, you look so good. And Angie goes, so do you. Wow. And Lisa goes, 2022, Helen of Troy. And they show a picture of actual Helen of Troy, and it doesn't look any like Helen of Troy. What are you like talking about? Helen Mirren? What are you? He's like, I love your head wrap. And Angie's like, thank you. Do you want to have a seat? Yeah, is it okay if I sit down? How was your day? It was good. Actually, it was good with Whitney and Dana, but I was shocked, Ange. What happened? We went roller skating. We stopped and grabbed some ice cream. And then Whitney and Dana, by the way, when they stopped and grabbed the ice cream, they were all in these helmets. It looked like what the Barbie movie looks like that's coming out that I really want to see with Greta Gerwig. It was all like all these like bright colors, and they're all like wearing helmets, which by the way, I thought it was kind of fun. I was like, I want all housewives to wear helmets in every scene, which potentially could help for Heather with like black eyes and stuff like that. Just like wear safety, but it's like the NFL. You got to suit up to be a housewife. So she's like, Dana specifically, they were talking about my business. Meredith's house, there was a conversation about my business. Angie sighs and looks shocked. And then Whitney's like, Lisa's like, what? And Angie's like, so it was Heather, Meredith, and Jen and I. And, we went to that little wine tasting. Somehow they brought up something called an SCC. And Lisa goes, an SCC. Okay, thank you, SCC. Yeah. And Angie goes, Meredith, knew about it and she brought it up, but then Heather talked about it and then Jen started pulling information. Lisa goes, wow. Angie K in a confessional goes, Heather and Meredith have both experienced Jen's toxic behavior, but now they're supporting it. We know Meredith loves her feathers. Birds of a feather flock together, but they're not pretty birds. They're seagulls, and everybody hates seagulls because they shit on people. Angie K, are you all right? That is one of the weirdest talking head phrases. We know Meredith loves her feathers. Birds of a feather flock together, but they're not pretty birds. They're seagulls. And everybody hates seagulls because they shit on people. Amazing, Angie K. That is solid work. Angie goes, Meredith said something about John, basically like he doesn't work. And Lisa's like, that's when you don't say anything about John. Lisa goes, oh, we know that isn't true. And Angie goes, something to the effect, and Lisa in a confessional goes, Meredith, this is what you do. Get your team together. Make sure you've got Jen. Make sure you've got Heather. Get the troops ready to attack Lisa because you can't do it on your own. And if you're going to attack me, make sure you come with facts and not some made up bullshit. Lisa goes, I know what I have. I know what I built. I know who we are. And Angie goes, well, there you go. And that's the attitude that you should have. And the fact that they're talking about John is disgusting. Like, honestly, it's disgusting. We come back from commercial. The ladies begin to arrive at the Greek goddess dinner. Whitney, Lisa, and Heather all arrive. Whitney to Heather goes, how do you just have a custom evil eye patch? And Heather goes, I don't want to talk about it. Jen had an eye patch for this girl's trip. What? Wait, this is something to pay attention to. Why did Jen have an evil eye patch? I think whatever happened to Heather happened before potentially they got there, but Jen knew about it. Why did Jen Shaw bring an eye patch? Was there a pirate night why with the evil eye? Why did Jen bring an eye patch with an evil eye? Doesn't make sense. Lisa goes, who carries an eye patch in your luggage? And Heather goes, well, when he goes, well, it's Jen Shaw. And Heather goes, they bedazzled the eye patch. Jen and Meredith created it all. They made it. They put this together, Heather says. Dana arrives. Heather goes, hello, what goddess are you? Dana goes, I'm the one with all the kids. Heather in a confessional goes, Hera wasn't just a mother, Dana. She was the wife of Zeus, who he relentlessly cheated on. She was a jilted wife and mother. Okay, Heather, thank you. for the lesson. Lisa goes, I'm Helen of Troy. Lisa's wearing a light blue two-piece crop top pant set. Heather in a confessional says, and Lisa, how did you come up with this? When you Googled Helen of Troy, was it Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake at the Grammys? What's going on here? Wah, wah. It's just not funny anymore, Heather. Like, good one. Jen arrives. When he goes, wait, who are you? And Jen's like, I'm going to prison. No, Jen goes, I'm Goddess Athena. And Heather goes, Goddess of War. And when he goes, she brought a shield and a sword. And Jen goes, because I'm ready for battle. And Lisa goes, are you fighting your friends or your enemies? Lisa in a confessional goes, I have zero interest in being at this dinner tonight. If it weren't for Angie putting so much work into it, there's no way I would be sitting here after hearing what those three have said behind my back. Meredith arrives. Everyone greets her, including Lisa. Lisa under her breath to Dana, fake as fuck, fake as fuck. Lisa in a confessional goes, I mean, next time, stop being obsessed with me. I feel like Mariah Carey. Lisa to Dana goes, I have a hard time with that. And Jen goes, you have a hard time with what? Everything. Jen goes, what's going on? Nothing. Jen goes, you're like all grumpy when I come down here. Your energy is, I'm not grumpy. Jen goes, what's going on? Lisa says, nothing. So you're lying, Jen says, nothing. Heather goes, like, where's the hostess of this goddess dinner? Heather in a confessional goes, who pissed in Lisa Barlow's Diet Coke? She is not happy, and everyone knows I love an unhinged Lisa Barlow. So this dinner is going to be great, and I hope I can see it all from my one good eye. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, Heather. Oh, Angie K makes a grand entrance being carried in by two men who she names Zeus and Hercules, but I think they're just probably some guys from Craigslist. Angie welcomes the ladies to the dinner and everyone sits down. Angie in a confessional goes, I'm very passionate about being Greek. My parents are both immigrants from Greece, and I wanted to share my culture with the ladies. Angie leads the ladies in a Greek toast, and they all cheers to good health. Angie goes, anyways, I've had a really amazing experience, and I just want to drink to thank you for all for having me. And it's been fun co-hosting with my sis. And Jen goes, thank you. Angie's at the head of the table, by the way. And Angie goes, so I just wanted to give a little gift to all of you. In Greek culture, the evil eye is supposed to ward off negativity or bad thoughts or bad energy. The ladies all open a gift box that has an evil eye necklace inside. The ladies all say thank you and talk about how beautiful the necklace is. Jen's automatically probably thinking about who she's going to re-gift this to. Angie says, now, if I don't see these on your necks, you'll never get another gift again, or I will unfollow you. Lisa in a confession goes, I mean, could this be any more appropriate? Give me all the evil eyes, anything to ward off these evil bitches. Lisa says, Ange, it's so cool that your parents are like true immigrants. And Angie goes like, uh-huh. And Heather's like, so tell us about your guys' day. And Dana's like, well, roller skating was fun. We had ice cream. Heather goes, yeah, you got ice cream from the ice cream man? And Lisa goes, yeah, we got ice cream. And then we chatted a lot and had a very, very informative conversation. And Whitney goes, so I have a question. Who talked about an SEC filing about Lisa? Who brought that up? Commercial break. Come back. Lisa goes, why is everybody so worried that I have an SEC filing? And Meredith's like, nobody's worried about it. Well, did you talk about me and my businesses? I really haven't talked about it other than in passing. You had a conversation with Dana about it. Angie, Heather. Meredith goes, that was the same conversation. Listen, I'm going to be really clear. Heather goes, we're going from 0 to 60. Lisa goes, I have an SEC filing. We have multiple brands. That's not Vita Tequila. That is Tequila See You, Dad. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. But I think it's funny that you guys all want to chit chat about me. And Meredith goes, oh, Lisa, you want to chit chat about everyone else. Please, honey. Lisa goes, Meredith, I had one bad moment in our whole friendship. No, it was not one. And don't go there. Whatever. Don't go there. What are you going to do? Talk more gossip about me and say my husband doesn't have a job? And she says this kind of mocking Meredith's voice. Don't you have a job? Don't talk to me. And Meredith goes, your husband has a job. He works with you. You guys have a company. No one disputes that. And Lisa goes, Angie, is that true? And Jen goes, why are you asking Angie? And Angie's like, you guys, I mean, back to the Greek, da, da, da. And Lisa goes, I don't know. And Jen goes, what? Heather goes, has something been lost in translation? Did she come home from our bus ride and like download it all to you? And now that's why you're so pissed? Heather in a confessional goes, thank you very much, Angie K. You think you're going to endear yourself to Lisa? You think Lisa wants to hear about her 25,000 SEC filing? That's embarrassing. Pretend you didn't hear it. Pretend she's rich. That's what she likes. Damn, Heather, you are nasty. Give back that necklace too. You don't deserve it. And the eye patch. Heather's like, it's in poor taste to host a dinner when you stir up trouble right before it starts. Oh, is it, Heather? Is it in bad taste? Angie says, Heather, you know what made me uncomfortable today? You guys are friends with Lisa and you're talking about her in the car. You were talking shit about her. And Lisa goes, was the point to um, was the point to show flaws in who I am? And Meredith's like, no, the point was the point to show that I'm not stable? If you want to shit and question my husband's business, I didn't question your husband's stuff. I said something absolutely ridiculous in a rant. And Meredith goes, yes, and you endangered the livelihood of his 4,000 employees. That is reckless. Once again, this Seth, is Seth Elon Musk? Hey, what's going on? I work in Canton, Ohio. My name is Seth Marks, and I love Whitney's tits. But I do also have 4,000 employees. And when Lisa did that hot mic moment, it embarrassed me and the 4,000 people that work for me. In no way was it embarrassing every time I put my face between that boob cake and went blah, 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 and kept going wonk, wonk to Whitney's boobs. Like, I love that. It was like, you embarrassed my husband with that off camera. 4,000 like, what is it? Like, at the head of a spy group? You've endangered the lives of 4,000 employees. Like, really? What? I really need to know more, way more about Seth's business. Lisa in the confessional goes, is she serious right now? I mean, how many times are we going to talk about the rant? Don't make one mistake because you'll pay for it till the day you die. And Lisa's like, I've apologized for the rant. What more do I need for us to move forward so we don't land here again? And Meredith's like, I answered this question months ago. You ignored me and turned it on me. And Lisa goes, I didn't ignore you. I didn't ignore you. And you are not nice. How did I turn it on you? Explain it to me. We have nowhere to go. How did I turn it on you? I need you to explain how I turned it on you, Meredith, because I did not. You accused me of calling you mentally ill, and that is extraordinarily disgusting to say that I said that, because I did not say that. Flashback to the Scottsdale trip when Meredith says Lisa's behavior is not normal. She needs to seek help and make changes. She says she can't tell Lisa what kind of help she needs because she's not a doctor. And Lisa goes, so let's just sit around and talk shit instead of work on forgiveness, instead of moving forward. Let's sit around and talk shit, right? Because there's a choice here. And Meredith goes, I told you we can move forward. It doesn't feel like it. I told you that. Heather goes, I felt like you guys were moving forward today. I felt great about this trip. Do you, Heather? How does your black eye feel? Lisa goes, if you want to stay in a good place with your friends, you don't start trying to find holes in their lifestyle. And when he goes, well, yeah, it comes down to the intent and why. And Lisa goes, you don't do that. Intent. You're a lawyer, Meredith. You know what intent is. Intentions are everything. And Meredith's like, yes, I've seen your intentions, Lisa. Thank you. No, you saw me upset one time. You didn't see my intentions. Oh, please. You're going to hold me responsible for one mistake when I was. It's not one mistake, Lisa. Okay. It's a multitude. Okay. A multitude. Okay. Meredith in a confession goes, Lisa's done a lot of things, a lot of little things over the years, like talking about me behind my back or not calling me when I tell you my father is dying, or canceling my makeup artist on me at the 11th hour in the height of a global pandemic when I couldn't get anybody else. It's so absurd. Who does that? And that is why I've resorted to using Facetune. Lisa goes, the way you were talking about me, you were insinuating that I had a mental health issue, and I did not like that. What I had was a rant. And Meredith goes, no, it was a tirade, but go on. No, it was a rant. Don't relabel it. A tirade. It was a rant. For me, it was a rant. For me, it was a tirade. Okay, I can say what I want for me. Like, what is it? Like, you put your chocolate in my peanut butter. You put your peanut butter in my chocolate. Heather in a confessional goes, I cannot believe we're sitting here arguing about whether it's a tirade or a rant. It's like, did you say trash bag whore or garbage whore? What an effing piece of shit. Was it my family that modeled or my family that poses? It doesn't make it any better. Either way, it was pretty awful. And Lisa goes, I don't like the conversations that were had today. I don't want my family talked about, and I don't want to sit and have these conversations over and over and over, rehashing situations from the past. And Whitney's like, so how do we move forward when everyone remembers it differently, feels differently, knowing we all love each other? And Heather's like, we're a group of women. We have more in common than we want to admit. At the end of the day, put the petty aside. I feel like we had 3 steps forward with you guys getting things resolved this weekend. I really did. I think my eye might be a metaphor for our friendships. We woke up. We don't understand where all of it's coming from. It's ridiculous. Sometimes we wear a patch. Sometimes we let it all out. Sometimes we sweep it under a rug. Is this your speech from Gladiator? What are you? We as women, we are a multitude of feelings. Some days we'll go left and some days we'll go right. Some days we'll go north and some days we'll go south. Sometimes we wake up. Sometimes we fall asleep. It's so dumb. We go to a producer of the confessional and producer goes, okay, Heather, you don't remember how it happened. And Heather goes, I didn't say that. I didn't ever say that. I didn't say. I don't remember how it happened. Producer goes, what? Heather's like, I just said I'm not talking about it. It's the first rule about Fight Club. Oh my God. Is Heather Brad Pitt and Edward Norton? Did Heather hit herself in her eye? Is Heather 2 people? Oh my God. Is Heather Jen Shaw? Is Jen Shaw Heather? Are they one person? Whitney goes, how did you get the black eye? And Heather goes, if anyone does like a secret knock on your door, don't answer. To be fair, I'm still unclear on exactly what happened with my eye. I don't want to talk about it. Producer goes, why do you not want to talk about it? Who are you trying to protect? And Heather pauses dramatically like a bad actor. Myself. I want to protect myself. Oh, God. And what is this line about? If anyone does like a secret knock on your door, that's a clue right there. Anyways, that's it. No preview for next week, but my God, what a mess of a show. And I love it. I love it. But what a mess of a show, you guys. Heather, pull yourself out of whatever fucking rut you're in, man. It is not fun to watch you this season. I mean, I expect this from Jen Shaw. I mean, Meredith, like everybody's a mess. Like you got me being a huge fan of Lisa Barlow. If you listen to my first 2 seasons of recaps, I didn't really love Lisa. Now I'm loving it. Yeah, she's self-centered, but she's like right laser-like on point on some of her things. Whitney, I like too. She just has a weak voice, so people don't get it. Dana, step up, girl. Angie K, I'm digging what I'm seeing here and there, but you're finding your footing. It'll get better next season. But Meredith and Heather and Jen, toxicity. We better find out about that black eye, and it better not be in your book. I'm going to be bummed. But you guys, supersized episode. We got 2 done today. Like I said, special thanks to Laura Beth Harp, who took these notes for both of these episodes. And join us. We'll have a new episode on Thursday. I'm going to finally start recapping Real Housewives of Miami on Peacock. You don't have to subscribe to Peacock. Just listen to my recaps. And also remember, with the recaps, I always do pop culture stories beforehand. So it's a one-stop shop, baby. I felt good about this one. I feel good. I feel like myself right now. And thank you for that. I needed that. I've not felt myself for the last week. And I'm not joking about that. So anyways, and if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. Subscribe, like, do all that YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do. Okay. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.